Hello there and welcome back. In this video we are going to take a look at the different ways that you can interpolate strings in Python. So this is basically a collection which I gathered throughout the years, and I just wanted to create a video in which we summarize it, how we can interpolate different strings. So let's import the math module. Let's say that we want to have the pi's digits for two digits printed out as a float on the console. In order to do that, what we can do is the following. Let's create an f string and say that the value of pi is, and we say that math.py, and then colon dot to f. This way, if we run the script in the console, we are going to see that the pi's value for these two digits is 3.14. And here the important part is the formatting part. So basically, before the dot, we can specify how many values of the whole number that we want, and after the dot we can specify how many numbers after the floating part we want, and the f is basically going to tell us that this is the way we want to format it. The other way to print out the value of pi is to use the format function. So technically we create a string, the value of pi is, and here what we would like to do is to pass to the format function the math.py, and that way this is how our numbers look like. And there is also another way where we can specify what we want this formatting to substitute in the curly braces. So let's say that we have a name which is called Bill and an age which is called 75. So another way to use the format string is the following. The age of is, and technically what we would like to do is to say here the value of name and the age. And that way we can make sure that the appropriate value is substituted. And these are positional arguments which are passed to the format function. And if we want, we can use keyword arguments. So let's say that we want to pass the value of pi into this function, and by the way, the value of pi is, and another curly brace, and here we have to specify the name of the variable. That way our interpolation looks like this. And if we want, we can provide index to the positional arguments. So basically this way we could say that this is the first item that we want, and this is the one with the first index. And that way Bill and the age swaps places. So let's make it correct once again and see how the output changes. Alright, and another even older formatting is the following. So basically the name is %s and the age is %d, and after the percentage sign we can specify the name and the age. And if you run this, you can see in the output we have the name is Bill and the age is 75. So this way what we do is to create a list of positional arguments, and we specify the formatting after the %sign. So basically what I want is the first argument to be interpolated as a string and the second argument to be interpolated as a decimal number. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is going to be similar for you if you have been using the logging module when you define formatters. So basically you could say that name is %sign and S, and the age is %sign D. And here what we would like to do is to substitute the name of the variable. And after this, what we can do is to use the %sign and pass a dictionary. So name is name and the age is age. And after that, this is how our interpolation looks like. And what we can also do is to use a newer notation with the f string. So basically, we could say that we have the values of a 10 and b 20. And we want to print a string like saying a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. One way to do this is the following. We create an f string and say that a is equal to a and b is equal to b. This works perfectly fine until I want to rename this variable. So if I rename it, for example, to C, what I have to do is to rename it in the f string at 2 places. That way, it reflects the change in the variable name and the value. A newer notation is the following. So we could say between curly braces, C is equal to and B is equal to. So we don't create an expression assigning a value to these variables, but we rather say to the f string to interpolate these values the following way. So like variable name equals to variable value. And I think this is a pretty neat trick. Another one is that when we have a big number, so let's say gazillion, and this number looks like this. And if we want to create or at least print it in a underscore separated way, we can do that with the f string. So basically what we have to do is to say that the pretty version is, and say gazillion, and then colon underscore. And that way, if we execute it, you can see that these separators are going to be inserted to the number. And basically, this is how you can create a prettier version. The other thing that I want to show you is, let's say we have a columns name with a columns list with the following name, or values rather, name, age, and color. And we have the values as follows. So the name is Daniel, the age is 40, and the color is red. And we have Florian, the age is 30, and the value of the color should be green. And the third one is going to be Agnes, which is of age 50, and magenta is the color. So what we can do is to create a string interpolation when we say that the variable must fill a specific number of characters. So for example, we create the following interpolation. We want to separate these values with pipe sign and say that for the column's first index, we would like to have it indented to the middle and allow it to fill 10 characters. And the same should be good for the second and the third values. That way, if we print it out, you can see that the 10 characters is respected, and the variable that we have is going to fill the space accordingly. So now what I would like to do is to check the length of this string. So len, print it and enter. So it's 34. Now what I would like to do is to repeat a character dash 34 times. If I run it, you can see that we provided a nice cap here. And then we want to have another one, and what we would like to do is to iterate over the values for value in values and do the same formatting. So we want to insert these values to each row. And at the end, we want to close this table. And as you can see, we have it here. What we can also do is to basically, what should we do? Let's bring it into the for loop. And that way, we can have these separated in the following way. So if I want to align these values to the left side, I would use the less than sign. If I want to align it to the right side, I would use the greater than sign. And if I run it, you can see the values are pushing the borders. So here is how I remembered it. We have this arrowhead, and where the head is pointing, that's the direction the variables are going to be interpolated against. And that's it. So technically this is my collection. Oh, and if you want, you can provide a padding character for the remaining space between the allowed length and the actual length that the values fill up. And you can provide the character here after the column. So let's say I want to use star sign to fill out this space. If I run it, you can see that the star is inserted. Let's modify it and say that we want to use this star filling here, here, and here. And if I run it, you can see that the value is filled up. So technically that's it. This is what I wanted to show you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.